I identify as a woman. That means I literally am a woman. From now on, I will be using women's bathrooms, locker rooms, domestic violence shelters, rape shelters, and prisons.
What? No, I'm not comfortable with that. Identifying as a woman does not change the biological fact that you are male.
Biology does not matter. Anyone who says they are a woman is a woman.
If we allow males who say they are women into our spaces, there is a risk that males who identify as women will hurt us. It is also inevitable that men will pretend to be transgender to gain access to our spaces.
This never happens. Being transgender is hard. No one would claim to be transgender unless they really were.
A man literally changed his legal gender to female just to get better rates on car insurance.
This never happens.
A male police officer patted down a female protester. When asked if a female officer was available, the man said, "How do you know I don't identify as a female?" while his male colleagues laughed.
This never happens.
A man pretended to be transgender so that he could stay in women's homeless shelters. He sexually assaulted 2 women there, one of whom was deaf.
This never happens. Men who dress feminine are bullied. No one would subject themselves to that unless they were really transgender.
A man put on a short skirt, high heels, nail polish, eyeshadow, and jewelry, then went into the women's bathroom at a Walmart, where he undressed in front of children.
This never happens.
A different man sexually assaulted a woman in another Walmart bathroom. When police arrived, they found him in the electronics section searching for laws about transgender bathrooms on the store's computers. The man clearly did not identify as a woman, but knew he could claim to be transgender to justify his presence in the women's bathroom.
These are not real trans women. Real trans women are not a threat to women's safety.
If we must take everyone who says they are a woman at their word, which is what you demanded, then there is no way to distinguish between a, quote, real trans woman and a man merely pretending to be a trans woman.
Trans women are women. There are no documented cases of a trans woman assaulting a woman in a bathroom.
Fine, if you insist, let's talk about some, quote, real trans women. When a woman questioned a 6-foot, 3-inch-tall trans-identified male's presence in the women's bathroom at a bar, the trans-identified male punched the woman in the face, knocking out 5 teeth and causing $60,000 in medical bills.
This never happens.
A different trans-identified male filmed a 12-year-old girl on the toilet at a supermarket.
This never happens.
Less than 4 weeks later, that same trans-identified male shoved a 10-year-old girl into a toilet stall and ordered her to take her pants off.
This never happens.
After Target started allowing transgender customers to use whichever dressing room they want, a trans-identified male in Idaho filmed a teenager trying on swimsuits by holding a phone over the dressing room wall.
This never happens.
The trans-identified male in that case admitted to having done this multiple other times, and said the reason was, quote, same reason men go online to look at pornography.
This never happens. Also, it is no big deal if a trans woman watches an undressing woman or if women have to see a trans woman's penis, because they are all women anyway. Women need to stop being prudes. Trans women do not present any actual physical danger to women.
A trans-identified male criminal in the UK demanded to be placed in a women's prison. Once there, the trans-identified male sexually assaulted 2 female prisoners.
This never happens.
That was on top of the multiple rapes the trans-identified male had committed before being put in prison.
This never happens.
It is a pattern. In the UK, trans-identified male prisoners have been responsible for 6 times the number of sexual assaults than would be expected based on the percentage of the population they make up. They are also even more likely to commit sexual assault than men who don't identify as women. Of male prisoners in general, less than 20% are in prison for committing a sexual offense. For male prisoners who identify as women, that number is almost 50%.
This never happens. It is transphobic to suggest that trans women will be violent towards women.
In Florida, a trans-identified male walked into a Taco Bell, poured gasoline over a random woman, and set her on fire.
This never happens.
In Sweden, a trans-identified male stabbed a woman to death, chopped up her body, and scattered the parts around.
This never happens.
In Spokane, a trans-identified male killed 3 women within a 4-month period. The trans-identified male was jealous of the women's ability to have children. The trans-identified male left the women's bodies naked by a river.
This never happens.
You are full of it. These things that you promise will never happen, actually happen a lot, as I have just proven. How many women and girls need to be hurt before you will admit that some spaces need to be reserved for females only?
There is no limit. Predators will always find ways to attack women, so there is no point in trying to stop them. On the other hand, you are literally killing trans women and causing transgender children to commit suicide by bringing up these examples.
The widely reported statistics for the rate at which males are murdered for identifying as transgender are not accurate. Neither are the statistics for the rate at which children commit suicide due to being transgender. Moreover, it is nonsense to claim that merely pointing out crimes causes children who have nothing to do with those crimes to commit suicide.
Even if that's true, it doesn't matter. Your words are literal violence all on their own.
Words are literal violence. So I am not allowed to even talk about these incidents? Which, by the way, are only a small sampling of the many instances of assault and voyeurism committed by trans-identified males.
No. It is transphobic. Talking about these examples is more violent and much worse than the examples themselves.
That makes no sense, and it does not seem fair to me to stop women from pointing out these concerns.
You are a transphobe.
Seriously, we need to talk about this.
Transphobe. No debate.
Can you provide any logic to support your position?
This never happens.
If this doesn't seem right to you, sign the declaration.